All right, if I can trade in the choppy market, or learn to stay out rather, but if I'm in a choppy market, a very challenging market, and I'm trying to follow my rules here with one of these strategies, the expanding moving average strategy, following the 50 EMA on the 5-minute chart, whatever way the 50 EMA is going, that's the way we want to go. If the 50 EMA is going this way, more than likely, you're going to have the other ones, the 8 and the 20, coming up. So that's starting to turn bullish right there, right? Over here, it's bearish. Clearly, everything's going down. 1, 2, 3. But then we have this spike up, and then the 50 crosses, and then the 8 and 20 cross, and we have a different direction. So the only viable area where the 50 is going up right here, the only time I could go long, as even the 20 is going up, finally crosses. So this whole area right here is an area where I can go long and ride it up to this level on the 5-minute chart. Where does that look like over here on the 500 tick? All right, this area represents the same area as the 5-minute chart. We got the 5-minute chart over here. This whole box is the same area as this box here. Now what I'm looking for to go long is a 3-bar reversal or a trend line break or the expanding moving average strategy. Those 3 strategies will work just fine. So let's just take a look. Where can I start getting in a long position? Okay, so we see after this huge candle right here, that's when the 50 starts ticking up. That's when the other moving averages point up, and the 8 even crosses over the 20 on that big candle right there. So what happens on the next candle is it maintains that level high up, and we get more of an curvature of the moving averages, right? So let's see what happens in this area right here. Right over here is where it's taking place, right in this area right here. And I got to ask myself, how would I get into a long position? Because eventually it just keeps chopping around and really just chops and keeps coming down. Is there a possibility of me taking a trade in any of this right through here? And how would I do it? Okay, so the range trading, just buying at this level and selling at the top would have worked. I don't talk a lot about range trading on this channel. 3-bar reversal, trendline break, moving average strategy are my favorite ways to trade. But it's, you know, your strategy is not always going to do that good in every single market. So what we could do right here is start to look for 3-bar reversal. Here's one. Here's one. Here's one. Could we have made money on that? And it looks like we could have. 3-bar reversal. I wasn't focusing on that today. I was focusing on the 50 moving average trying to go up. And we get that green candle causing it to go up, and there was been my stop loss. So that would have definitely made a 1-to-1 if I got in right there. That would have definitely been profitable, or at least break even on it. That's the first one. We're looking for green to take out red. So these green candles right here took out the red candles on the left side of that, and that would have been profitable. Okay. 3-bar reversal. Get in after the close of that candle that took out the previous 2. The third candle is green. The previous 2 are red. Get in right there, and we pretty much got a 1-to-1 on that as well. Now what about a trend line break? Well, let's take a look at a trend line break here and see what's going on. If we would have put the trend line like this, we get a trend line break, stop under the pivot, 1-to-1 return on that too. Okay, so all 3 of those strategies would have worked. The one that I was focused on today was I didn't want to take a trade unless we had a green candle take out red and we were following the 50 EMA. So right in this area, the 50 EMA kept going down, up, down, up, down, up. So because I was focused on that strategy, I didn't get in on the other strategies. And I guess I got to ask myself, why do I have to focus on one strategy? I really wanted to experiment today and practice today that strategy. That's why I was really focused on the expanding trendline strategy. Okay, so there was ways of making money here. Okay, where else could we have done? Would a trendline break work here? Yeah, the trendline break strategy would have worked there. At least to get a 1-to-1, it would have worked there. And keeping your stop loss underneath once it broke there. Oh, not quite a 1-to-1 on that. Yeah, you did hit 1-to-1 on that. So when the red took out the green, we get in long, stops under the pivot, you hit 1-to-1. Okay, get long on this green candle after the trend line break, pivots right here. It might have ticked us out on that one, but if it didn't, we would have got a 1-to-1 on that as well. Okay, what else do we have? Green taking out red. If I would have tried it right here with that green candle taking out this red candle, it just simply would have failed. I would have stopped out immediately. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Where's that at over here? Yeah, that's kind of thinking that it's going to continue in this little area right here and keep going up. But as we can see, it did not do that. Something coming down lower, though, we might have been able to do. That trend line break would have failed. What about the trend line break coming this way? That trend line break would have worked, and we got a red taking out green, green taking out red, right? But I was so focused on the 50 EMA, the 50 EMA was coming down, and I wasn't looking for trades to go against the 50 EMA. So I missed all these trades with my other strategies. So my other strategies would have worked better today than the 50 EMA strategy with the moving average expansion. Because I'm looking for the 50 to be going up and the other moving averages to be pointed. And I'm looking for a red candle to be taken out by a green candle, and the stop goes underneath the red candle. That's where it happens with that particular strategy. So everything's down right here, down right here, down right here. When we finally start seeing the 50 EMA turn up, we don't get any green taking out red there. The 50 EMA is not turned up until we get over here. Now we see this area, green taking out red. We might have gotten a 1-to-1 on that, but it didn't close until way up there, so that would have failed. That first one would have failed. Yeah, the first to try it would have failed. Then we get this try here. Is the 50 going up? The 50's very, very flat right here, which, you know, it's down, it's up. It does start to tick up right here. What, the 20's pretty flat. I don't know. If I would have took it, it would have failed. We would have stopped out right below the red candles. Okay. And the 50 EMA is going down, down, down. Now we start to see an increase over here. The 50's going up, and all the moving averages are expanding up this way. We got red candles. We got green, take out red. So let's take a look at that. What happened in this case? I probably would have entered on this big candle here, stop loss down here, entry right here. So what do we get? We get 2-to-1, almost 3-to-1 on that. And that was a good trade. That was a good trade. So I just want to kind of make this video and understand that I was overly focused on one strategy and I missed a lot of good trades that would have worked with other strategies. And am I going to be able to freestyle trade multiple strategies? I think that's pretty complicated. I'm pretty sure really good traders focus on one good way to trade and they stick to that way and they master that way. So, you know, I really got to just figure out which trading system do I want to master the most? Which one do I want to trust the most? And at this point, I really haven't made my mind up. So that's a big problem because, you know, I'm not going to start really doing well and being able to pay my bills until I master a trading strategy. Sticking with it focusing on it, and not flip-flopping back and forth. All right, so that's all I wanted to look at today. I wanted to make sure I get this on video so I can meditate on this issue.